Hi, I'm Courtney. I'm a technician here at Iowa Equine. Today we're going to go over how to apply a distal and bandage to your horse's leg. We apply these for many reasons: wounds, cellulitis. Materials that you'll need that you'll get sent home in your bandage bag, or you can find these at your local farm store. We have an online store as well that may have some of these products. So this is a cotton roll or the combi roll, and then you want a brown gauze and a vet wrap. That's the main part of your bandage. And then sometimes if there is a wound, we like to apply a telfa underneath. When you open this telfa, there is a shiny side and a dull side. You want the shiny side on the wound itself so it doesn't stick, and that's also where if you want to apply some type of antibiotic or maybe like a little thin layer of Animax on the wound, and the shiny side goes on the wound. And then this is the gauze that will just lightly get wrapped over the telfa on the leg, and then you'll apply your bandage over that. All right, to start, if you do have a telfa or some gauze, we'll put that on first. This horse does not have a wound, but I'll just kind of pretend here. So you'll want the shiny side on the wound itself, and then you'll want to start the white gauze on the bottom part of the leg, and then just slowly wrap that around. You don't want this part tight, you just want it snug enough to keep that bandage on. You also don't want it very loose that it's going to cause wrinkles, so you just do it enough to cover the top and bottom and then come back around. At this point, now that it's covered and that telfa is not going to slide around, you can cut that gauze. And that way you save some for next time. So the cotton rolls that we give you, there is a side with a line and a side without. That means nothing. It doesn't matter what side you apply to the leg. It doesn't matter which way it is rolled. You can apply it either way. So you want to apply the bottom of this cotton kind of right in the middle of the fetlock. If you do that and it ends at the middle of their hock and they do not have any wounds or swelling on this like top part of their leg here, you can go down a little bit farther. So basically what you want to avoid is ending the bandage where their hock bends. It's difficult to stay on and it can cause some swelling that we don't want. So if there is no wound or no swelling up here, you can start your bandage a little lower so it ends under where the hock bends, which is what we'll do with this horse here. So again, just start right below the hock, right below the fetlock, and just roll it on, making sure the edges are nice and smooth, not wrinkled under the bandage, and then just continue to roll. This bandage, I'm not really pulling it really tight, I'm just getting it on snug so that when we create tension, it's not going to cause any like bunching up of the cotton roll itself. And then when you apply your brown gauze, you just want to make sure that you're going the same direction as the layer underneath. It's okay if you're going clockwise or counterclockwise when you start, but then every layer needs to be that same direction. So we'll start this brown gauze right here in the middle, just to keep this cotton on, bringing all this, smoothing it out, and then we're going to go down. And every time we go down a layer, we're going down half the width of the previous layer. Going down halfway. And then when you bring it around the back, you just want to pull it snug. So you don't want to pull it really tight, and this brown gauze will actually rip if you pull it too tight, but you also don't want it loose like this. So the whole reason is to get some pressure, some firm, even pressure on this bandage. So going down halfway, pulling it snug, and then at the bottom, you want to leave about a ½ an inch to an inch of cotton sticking out. This will prevent any uneven pressure on the leg. So this is a safeguard to preventing any rubs or any unwanted swelling. And now that that's where we're going to go down, just go back up, doing the same thing. Here's my layer here, so I'm going to go up halfway, pulling it snug around the back, and then I'm also doing the same thing to the front. Just pulling it snug, snug all the way around. And then you're going to do the same thing at the top. Leave about a ½ inch to an inch of cotton at the top. You want to be able to see every layer underneath. And then just bringing it down until you run out of brown gauze. This one you do want to use the entire roll. That's what gets you that nice, firm, even, consistent pressure. Wrapping the same direction as your previous 2 layers. If you start putting the vet wrap on, you're like, oh shoot, I went the wrong way, take it off and put it on the correct way. So the same way as all the other layers. And the same rules apply. You want to be able to see every layer underneath. So you should be able to see cotton, brown gauze, and then you can apply your vet wrap. In this, you just want to pull snug to get some of the wrinkles out. So if you have it on like this, with all those wrinkles, it's not snug enough. If you pull it too tight, it'll probably just rip. So again, just like the brown gauze, going up half the width, leaving some of the brown gauze visible here, pulling it snug at the front and the back. And going all the way down. Again, sometimes we send you home with elastic tape or elasticon. Essentially, all this is going to do is seal the top and the bottom of your bandage. It's sticky, it's stretchy, it is not a layer that we want snug, so there is some stretch to it. If we do send you home with this, I want you to unroll it, get that unstuck from itself, and then roll it back up. And then we're going to go ahead and apply it on the tops and the bottom of the bandage. Just to keep dirt and mud and things from getting in the bandage. So there's a red line, that's the middle. I typically put that on the brown gauze. So red line on the visible brown gauze, and that will get us a really nice adherence to the coat and the bandage. So just want to lay it on like that. This is meant to get put on their hair. It's not going to rip their hair out. It is made for horses to put directly onto them. So don't worry about that. And I'm just literally just laying it on. You shouldn't be pulling this at all. That will cause swelling. We don't want that. So just literally lay it on. And you only need 1 layer. Sometimes this will start like peeling off too. If you have that happen, you can just take the layer underneath and fold it up and stick it to itself, and it won't come off. So there's that one, and then same thing on the bottom. And if it's too wide where you can't just do 1 layer, you can definitely do a couple just to make sure you get it nice and secure there. This isn't going to prevent the bandage from slipping too much if your bandage is applied appropriately and your tension is good through here. Most likely it won't slip down too much in this position. This is just to keep all your mud and dirt out. So again, line right at the brown gauze, 1 swipe around. We'll cut off the extra. And then just stick it down.